Let's take a look at it. Here's what we're dealing with for the next couple of days. The heat wave that kicked into high gear last week, that's going to be sticking with us here. So first alert, got to let you know about that. Now, here's the difference. Last week, really kind of struggled to get much in the way of any rain around the Piedmont. It was all pretty much confined to the mountains and the northern foothills. That changed yesterday, and that's going to be the flavor as we go through this week. So more thunderstorms in our forecast for today. 95 Charlotte, Concord, Rock Hill, 95 Monroe, 96 Rockingham, 93 Hickory over towards Statesville. Now, also got to alert you on this. Downpours and lightning. Obviously, with any thunderstorm, whether it's severe or not, but damaging wind gusts, we saw a handful of those yesterday, and isolated flooding. Cabarrus County, you had flooding yesterday afternoon. That could be the case again today. And here's why I'm concerned about that, because while we're quiet this morning, watch how things start to develop. About 2 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, this isn't anything to write home about. 3 or 4 o'clock, more of the same. But watch what happens as we go into the evening hours. As we get closer to sundown, this particular model really holds on to the rain. And 11, 12, 1 o'clock tomorrow morning, we could be getting some tremendous downpours if this verifies. So keep in mind, there could be some really heavy rain overnight. Then we start the whole process over again tomorrow. And as we go into Wednesday, I see more of the same. We start off quiet in the morning. We end with more thunderstorms. So I think this is going to be a daily thing here that we'll just be enduring going right into the upcoming weekend. And there are some long range models that suggest that a front, which is a little bit of a rarity in July around here, could make inroads on our weather. If that's the case, this number will be going up. The 40% chance, that's just slightly above normal. But also that would mean with more rain chances, more cloud cover, our temperatures would likely be coming down. The average high now is 90, so we should be a lot closer to that by Saturday and Sunday. Nothing to do, though, but get into a cool spot here for the next couple of days. Highs in the middle 90s, lows in the mid 70s. And the heat index will be over the century mark each and every day, especially from Charlotte and points southward and eastward. Again, we'll be focusing on what happens here Saturday and Sunday as well. We know we got a lot of outdoor events, including AC/DC coming to the bank. So again, check with the First Alert Weather Team, check back on this, and download the free WBTV weather app. You're going to be away. Hey, you'll have that interactive radar right there at your fingertips.